This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration.
Off the Dice is back.
The questions are now ready, and our guests are restrained.
Pay no attention to the mumbling in the background.
That'll be fine.
So pull up a chair.
Yeah. Let's talk off the dice. So welcome
everyone.
to everyone that's here. And if you're not here, you'll listen some other time, or you might be listening right now.
Yeah.
On the recorded version. Well, we're here off the dice. We are going to chat a little bit.
A little bit.
And we got a host here. I'm a host. And who's the other host? I'm Scooter, by the way. And
I am not Scooter.
You are who?
I am Rysa, and I am blind.
Rysa's blind. So if you're listening to this as
glasses.
An audio version, you don't know that she's running into walls as we speak.
While sitting down, it's quite impressive. Everybody's favorite.
Well, yeah, we are back. We're going to do, this is us doing the off the dice thing, and we have a special guest with us tonight.
What's your name?
Who knows when we're recording this or when we're live? Who knows? But this is Michelle, a good friend of both of ours.
Yeah.
Say hi, Michelle.
So.
Hi, Michelle.
There you go.
No.
Okay, and that's all we get to hear from Michelle. Done.
And Valerie, you can cut it there.
Yep,
and
there you go.
Done. Yeah, our editor, Valerie, just says, now we're done.
And done eating.
Okay. Well, here's what we're gonna do. If you don't know how this you should
good.
Be, and that's why we're just gonna get started.
Yeah.
If you don't know how this goes, you haven't been listening, which is totally fine. Because
totally fine.
We do
won't
this.
Take it personally, but
no, we will.
No, I have.
Oh, just kidding.
Okay, because
I know a little what I'm in for.
Nice.
Just a little. Oh, good.
Yeah.
See, and this is nobody can see my hands maniacally not doing.
Again?
Yeah, it's if you. Yeah, I can't do it. The maniacal hand. What do they call that? Flutter.
Twirl.
I don't know what that is.
Maniacal hand twirl.
Maniacal hand twirl.
It's very you. It's very like, whoa, serious, and then you're like, oh, it's twirling. We're fine.
It's twirling.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not maniacal at all.
Yeah, it's just a twirl, casual.
Well, we're going to get started because we want to make sure and talk to the other person in this room.
Yeah.
Or maybe. We'll see what happens.
Maybe, yeah.
We're going to play off the dice, which is a very serious game.
Yeah. There is a point system.
Yeah, how does this work? How does this work, Rysa?
I have to be graded?
Yeah, we ask questions.
Like
you answer questions. We must believe you. I mean,
Okay.
And there's a point system. Will you ever know what it means? No. Only we do.
Yeah, we rank people.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what people do?
All right.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We
the
rank.
Casual ranking system.
All right.
We're rankers.
Are you going to give me a grade at the end so I'm going to know how well I did?
Oh.
Nope.
No. Who does that?
Yeah, that would make sense.
That's the system, man. We don't go by the system
yeah,
rules.
we can't do that.
All right, fine.
Before we do get into off the dice, what's everyone drinking?
Oh yeah, let's go into that. Let's just talk about that because
that's our favorite question.
That is our favorite drink. Our favorite drink.
It is our favorite drink.
How many have I had? Like only a couple sips of this, honestly, and I'm already ripped.
Scooter.
Okay, that's a lot of sips because it was a big beer. Okay, well let's start with Michelle then. What are you drinking?
You know, I picked up some New Glory from our friends today in anticipation of this stream. New one I never tried. Didn't they just release this?
Yes, that
recent,
came out today.
Yeah.
Today.
It's very good. It's very, very good. And I hear I missed you at the pickup today by
yeah, because I'm gonna piggyback off of that because you have it in the can version, I have it in the glass, and we just happen to be across. We're probably 30 miles from each other, and we're doing this over Zoom and audio recording, but we are drinking the exact same beer. Was not planned.
Yeah,
was not planned at all. She held up the can, and I go, "Holy crap, that's what I'm drinking!" So. I think it's called, what is it called? Pile driver?
Mm-hmm. That's the one I wanted to try.
Yeah.
I almost went and bought some, but.
Pile driver.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pontiac pile driver. So we have that.
I do not.
I'll just say, hey, we're drinking that on accident.
What you got, Rysa?
What do you got?
I'm really lazy, and I have Angry Orchard crisp apple.
That's good stuff, though.
It's good.
That's it.
It's hot. It's
a summertime.
It's a good combo.
No, it's a summertime.
Yeah, it's warm, and I just want adult apple juice. So that's what we're doing.
Oh, adult apple juice.
Adult
I feel that
apple
way.
Juice.
Yeah. Let's make this Irish. Make everything Irish.
Everything can be a little more Irish if you just throw
Does this have whiskey in it? I don't want it.
It is not for adult. I must refuse.
Well, we know now we're getting a little sippy. We're okay.
Yep.
Let's get into the game. This is built like a game. So cheers. Cilantro. That too. Oh, my heritage hurts right now. But let's go ahead and play this game. How do we play the first part there, Rysa? We have to create a character, right?
Character creation.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not someone you're making. It's you. So you're gonna have to rate you as yourself as a character, but it's you. So,
I'm my hardest critic, so this will be fun.
Yowza. Okay, then how about from a scale of 1 to 20, normal RPG rules?
Sure.
How would you rate your charisma?
Oh, my charisma. Oh, that's rough. I would say a 13. Lucky 13.
Love the lucky
Maybe?
13.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
good.
Why?
That wasn't convincing, though. I didn't convince you of that, though.
But why would you say 13?
I think I have a tendency to be somewhat charming at times because I have to deal with a lot of people for work. So I think that could be part of it. Maybe it's practice. I think maybe I've gotten more charming over time. I don't know.
You learned how to do it?
I would say 13 right now. At level 43 in my life, I'm at 13.
Right.
As of now, 13.
At a level 43, you're now
exactly
up to 13.
I'm a high-level D&D character.
I can feel with that. I was like, I can really relate to that. So I feel like I have a decent charisma personally, but it's learned. It's not, does not come naturally.
You're definitely the bard.
It's
learned. Oh yeah, you are. Yeah.
It's learned. So we'll take that. All right, 13 for charisma.
I think so.
For Michelle. Well, we have some more attributes to go through. So on a scale of 1 to 20, Michelle, how would you rate your brain?
My brain. Okay. Let's see. I want to be complimentary but critical. So let's say I would give myself a solid 15.
Ooh.
Right on.
Yes.
But not when it comes to audio.
Apparently not when it comes to tech issues. I just had a 4-hour D&D game with this same setup and it worked, so I don't know.
Oh no. I know that feeling though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Technical difficulties happen every moment of my life sitting right here. I was like, I didn't move anything. Now it's not working. Okay, so we have a 13 for charisma and a 15 for brain. I would have to agree with that hardcore because hardcore.
Yeah, really?
Okay, sitting and having chats with you, I was like, I find to be 11 or what is it for a D20? I think 11 is average. Somewhere around there. I think that's kind of your number. Right. I mean, not for a D20,
7
but
or 11.
but usually when you get in there, that's about average, 10, 11, 12. So 13 higher on charisma, and then a 15 for brain. Definitely above average. Every time I've had a conversation with you, I look to you for advice when it comes to shit that's real.
But only the realistic shit.
No, it's like all the other stuff was like, I'll ask whoever. But there's certain aspects of just life. Being a level 43, it
does assist.
There are some things that certain people have gone through, and you go, oh, pretty sure this human has gone through some things in this area. Let's see what's up.
Some things, some good, some bad.
Yeah, and that's how it all goes through. So we have, what's our next one,
How am I
Rysa?
doing?
What's our next attribute?
But what about your dexterity?
Oh, my dexterity is, I would say my dexterity is probably a 10, frankly. Maybe about a 10. I think when I was younger, it was probably higher. See, these things go opposite. When you're younger, your dexterity is better, but your intelligence is lower. So, I would say about a 10.
I can feel
be
you.
kind of clumsy.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've knocked over my fair share of things as I've gotten older.
I've fallen
Trip
over
myself.
everything.
Yeah.
Trip over yourself.
So we have
Love it.
a character made.
You
What-
built you.
We built a Michelle character.
I built myself. That's great. How did I turn out?
13 charisma, 15 brain, dexterity of 10. If you're an RBG player out there and listening, there's no dump stat, which means there is no.
Yay!
Hey, this statistic, this attribute of mine is crap. There's nothing in there.
Dump.
No.
I would say dexterity was my dump stat, right? I mean, that's fair. Slightly fair.
Yeah, but I think as here's the it's still good. Like I feel that also comes with a little bit of wisdom and intelligence, and as you your brain and stuff, as you get older, you go, I'm just not going to try that. Like I know I can't do that, so I think that kind of helps out your dexterity, as you're like, no, I'm not going to walk across that bridge that doesn't exist. No, because I know it's not going to work. But other people's like, oh, I'm just going to leap across. I was like, well, that's cool. You're 16 years old.
Well, that's why it's fun to play those characters, because in those moments that you would not be good at something, you can attempt something if you did it yourself, it would be very stupid. So,
well, and here's it, just like playing this game, but you're doing this. Doing this is probably really stupid of you to do, is play this game with us. But especially
that was the first flaw.
This is the.
Uh-oh.
And then you get to play as yourself. Holy cow!
Oh no!
So here's how we go. We're gonna get into round one
Tell me.
because your character is created. Level 1.
So here,
Okay.
go.
Yep. Cue round
right.
1. What are the basic
Ready?
rules of round 1, Rysa?
You gotta answer it. You gotta answer it, and we'll believe you. And drink.
Always.
And drink. Okay. You have to believe me.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to believe your
unfortunately,
answer.
Yeah. Weirdly
All right.
enough.
Are we ready?
Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Ready.
I think I'm asking this one, right?
That's
Okay.
you.
Michelle, this is where it kind of gets serious, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'm
Michelle.
not getting serious.
Do you
Perfect.
have 10 toes?
Yes.
Silence.
Without looking.
Oh,
Yes.
Hmm.
Without looking, I know I have 10
I
toes.
don't know. I think she looked.
Do I? I don't need to show you, do I?
No.
Well, no. That's a different
Yeah.
channel.
That's a different game.
Yeah. Whole
That's-
other thing.
That's not part of our network. We haven't gotten
we're
cleared for that yet.
Little sub question: Which of your 10 toes that we now have confirmation that
Established
you
you have 10.
have is your favorite?
Which of my toe is my favorite? Okay. That would be my big toe because I stub it on everything.
Why is that one your favorite?
Because I feel like if I give it a little love and have it be my favorite, then maybe I'll run into things less. So far, that theory is not been proved.
So but it's a power play. So
yeah, it's like a psychology thing.
I'm trying to manipulate it. I'm trying to deceive it.
Let me manipulate that big toe.
I've seen that done, but not...
Yikes.
I think that's on the dark web.
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
Big toe manipulation. I think that's... Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying, you guys asked the question.
Did we want the truth?
Let's give you 9.5 points for
I had to make up an answer.
Yeah.
9.5 points. 9.5
Yeah, so it's 9
points.
for all the whole toes and a half point for the power play toe that's going on right now. No? Fair.
Yeah, like trying to mess with your big toe emotionally.
Yeah, just like really like...
You're my favorite, honest. You're my favorite toe. Your toe knows better.
Yeah, it's like, not like this, not like this.
All right. I think I believe you because I've never heard an answer like that before, so I definitely believe you.
Well,
manipulate your toes, people.
Your creative questions are forcing me to be creative with my answers. I'll put it that way.
That's the goal. All right.
Right on.
So, how much mayonnaise is acceptable until you get grossed out? Everybody has a limit here.
Okay. So, I would say, like, as an example, maybe like a hamburger patty or something of that size. I would say if you cover it to a point where you can't see the top of the hamburger patty anymore, it's too much. It's too much. So, like, anything above, like, 90% coverage is too much.
Yeah, you just get that weird uneasy feel. It's the male uneasy feeling. You're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I feel this so hard because I like mayonnaise on my burger, but I don't know the actual ratio yet. And
everybody has a mayonnaise limit. Like,
we all have a threshold.
Yeah. Especially for mayonnaise, because you just get to a point where you're like, ooh.
It used to be more mayonnaise was larger. My threshold was larger, and now it's just like, no, just a little bit's fine. Yeah. So that's changing. My kids,
good thing.
They'll dip anything in mayonnaise. I don't know what it is.
Why?
It's like so gross.
I don't like mayonnaise, so I'll just be like, ooh.
It's not my favorite, but there's certain things that it kind of mayonnaise is kind of a requirement.
I recently I saw a thing where instead of using butter for grilled cheese, people use mayonnaise.
Yes.
And I never never even heard of it, thought of it, and I was like, it makes so much sense. It's oil and eggs,
and it's easier to spread. You don't.
Yeah, and I will quantify that with the fact that since I'm from the South, so Miracle Whip, with the same rules would apply with Miracle Whip. You got to be able to see it. It's so tangy.
Yeah,
my dad was huge on Miracle Whip.
And a lot was zestier.
It was all gross.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the only one in my household that will eat it, so I know. Plenty left.
I can't do it.
We got to change the subject. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to finish
and
the beer.
And that's our mayonnaise threshold.
I mean, you went from toes to mayonnaise. These are
okay. We're gonna get less. We're gonna get more palatable. Let's try that. Well, it depends. It depends on what your tastes are, but I think this one's more palatable. All right, Michelle, are you ready for the next question?
I am.
What Samuel L. Jackson part would you play in one of his films?
Wow, that's a really good question.
We asked the hard-hitting ones.
Yeah, these are the ones.
Toes to mayonnaise to Samuel L. Jackson. You know what? My instinctive response was Nick Fury because he gets to wear an eye patch, and that is just cool. And he gets to sort of be the manager coordinator of all the people, which is what I like to do. So I think it would have to be Fury.
Yeah. Because of his managerial skills.
And he gets to wear an eye patch.
Oh, okay.
You can't wear an eye patch.
Those are the two main things. It was just like
eye patch. This is her requirement. Her requirement in any role she's ever gonna play.
Yeah.
I want to boss somebody around, and I want to wear an eye patch.
With an eye patch.
And I want to look cool as shit doing it.
Yes. With an eye patch.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Look at that.
I'm okay.
So I'm a bossy pirate.
So your ideal job is boss pirate.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
That's a good role. I mean, there's so many roles that he's done that he's already always bossy anyways, it seems like.
But now you're the boss of superheroes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're always one step up.
But he's also like the gatekeeper. You know, he's also the one that delivers all the information, and he helps mend the relationships between all the superheroes, and I like that because that's what I do.
So try whiny baby.
Yeah.
It's true though. I was like, I can relate to that. Well, I can't relate to that personally, but just like somebody who doesn't have the superpowers, but can always, I don't know, it can get them to work together. I always talk about that in my stories. If I run a game, a role playing game, I always define certain things as a Coulson moment. That's what ever since the MCU did that.
That's awesome.
Well, think about if every storyline throughout history has that moment, right?
Yeah.
If you want to get people to work together, you have to have that moment. But ever since the MCU came out, tell people, use your Coulson moment. That's how you unify people. And that's really above that. You have Nick Fury's in his character in the MCU, not necessarily always in the comic books, but in the MCU, the cinematic universe. He knew that about Coulson. Like that, he knew that from the beginning, and that was his purpose. Coulson wasn't some genius and didn't know how to do everything, but he knew how to motivate people to do what they needed to do.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
So he was kind of
made some very important decisions in the MCU.
Yeah.
Some like life-altering decisions in the MCU.
So Nick Fury, I'm into that.
Mad respect.
There's a lot of other ones that I think I would also what was his character in freaking Pulp Fiction? That was somebody I really enjoyed him in that.
Yeah. Yep.
So good.
A lot of stuff that I have enjoyed him in. But all right, well, that has gotten your character, Michelle.
You beat round one.
You beat round one.
Yeah, you did it. That was it.
I did. Do I win? I win. Cool.
No.
Sure. Sure. You win. You win. What'd she win, Rysa?
I win the next round.
Yeah, you win. To continue on to the next round.
Another sip of your own beer. Yay.
Yeah, cheers.
I can persevere.
Love it. Love it, love it.
Level 2.
Well,
out to New Glory.
We are here to round 2.
All right, bring it.
These questions are going to be a little less mayonnaise-y.
Okay.
A little more down to earthy.
A little bit more greasy. Okay. Less greasy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let my guard down then a little bit. I'll let my guard down. Yikes. All right, go.
Yikes.
And go.
Okay. And go. All right, so you recently told us some things that you are very fond of. So what about your job is something that you like so much?
Oh, that's a great question. I think one of the biggest things I like about my job so much is I like solving problems.
Also, real quick, what do you do? That way people know.
What do I do? Oh, that'll clarify that a little bit, won't it? Yes, what I do all day is, or when we're not in quarantine, I suppose that is I produce TV commercials.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, but...
What?
And he's
Don't act like you didn't know.
All right, but what is one of your favorite? Why do you like that so much?
There's something about being presented with a veritable plethora of problems and having to solve them that I really, really enjoy. And I think I also really like working with people, work with different kinds of people, different ages, different walks of life, different, levels in their career. And I like I like the blended community that I create and that can be created together on a set. I love that. I love coming together and seeing a creative idea produced by really stellar groups of people. And I love my job.
It's so nice when you're able to say that.
Well, and it becomes it's less work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, I don't know, I can relate on a certain level, but
sure, that
the waking up in the morning, getting to work is not always the easiest. Realistically, as a human being, you're kind of like, oh, you know, it's like, I got this to do, all this stuff. And then you get to work and you go, oh, this ain't so bad.
Yeah,
that's
like,
a good feeling. I mean, that's a really good feeling.
Yeah.
Instead of like, God, now it's even worse. You know, it's like, oh, I want to just go home, but you can't. But that's really cool because honestly, when I first met Michelle and started talking and hanging out, I had no idea what she does. And yep. People that have known me for years really have found out that I don't ask that question.
Nope.
Right off the bat.
Really
no, that's not what drives me. But I have learned over the years, my amazing partner in life, Sarah, my wife, she has taught me to go, well, what if they do something that they love like you do? Maybe that's important to them. And I go,
what if they do
crap.
What you do with what you do?
I didn't even think about that. So
your brain was just like, what?
Seriously, I go, because what I did for a living most of my life wasn't like what drove me as a human being. Only until recently that occurred. So I didn't think about that. So that's amazing that you get to, you know, get up and you go do those things and you get to see those people, drive them to make amazing things that come out of their brain, and you get to organize all that. Kind of the only thing it seems like you're missing is an eye patch.
Yeah, honestly, you're one eye patch away from living the dream.
Yeah. Seriously, I mean, like,
I should have thought of that. I don't have one. I have a monocle for one of my characters, but I don't have an eye patch. Dang it.
But seriously, I think that's amazing.
I'm investing in an eye patch.
Yeah, I'm going to Amazon right now and I'm ordering an eye patch. It'll be here in 2 days. Let's redo this in 2 days.
We'll do this again. We will do this again. It's not overnighted. Oh.
Well, we're still coming out of quarantine.
Yes, so everything's a range of dates.
Yes, exactly.
When it comes to Amazon. So, when it comes to likes, there's also dislikes. So,
what? I didn't give you any of those. I didn't think.
Yes, there's some dislikes in here, and I'm gonna stick on that same kind of the same as your likes, but kind of the alter ego of that. Explain to me your take on micromanaging.
Yes, and that is astute observation. That is a total job related comment. But I think when you're in a position of being a boss and having to build a team or build a crew or whatever it is, it doesn't have to be producing commercials, it can be anything. You have to hire people that you are going to let them do their job. You hire them for a reason. You hire them because they're good at something. And it does you no good as a boss or manager to tell them how to do their job. And so that is one of my pet peeves, and probably something I would say differently as a level 43 than I would have said at a level 25. But yes, that is one of my dislikes for sure.
Yeah, I've never liked micromanaging. It always gets on my nerves. I'm always just like,
go do your job.
No, I'm just like, go away. I'm doing this for a reason. Goodbye. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I 100%. Yeah.
I remember, I mean, and I feel like very similar. I started off in retail at a young age, and I was micromanaged and I hated it. And then when I became middle management, I was a micromanager. And because I had already done the job. It's kind of like one of those things, like I didn't start, as an executive anywhere. I started as scrubbing toilets or stocking shelves or whatever. So
scrubbing toilet shelves.
If scrubbing toilets on shelves.
Yes.
Home Depot. I worked there for 9 years.
See, there
so
you go.
That is something I actually did.
Love it.
But really, I mean, and I really, when you said it's different as a level 20, I don't know what but in their 20s, I was the same way up until I was like 30 years old. I was like, they're not getting the job done right, so I'd always move. Let me just do it. Or, geez, when are you going to get this done?
I made those mistakes too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And over the last probably 10, 15 years, I've also done that in my life with other human beings as my family and the people I keep close to me. If you're toxic, why are you part of this? So if you're not doing your job, why am I working with you? If you are doing your job, I trust you, go do your job. And I had to really look at it that way instead of I can do it better than that person.
Yeah.
You probably can't. Or they're going to show you something that you didn't even think existed. It was like,
exactly.
I didn't even know you could do it that way.
Everybody thinks differently.
Yeah.
So that's been an enlightening moment. And I think that there's a bonding in this, especially us three right here, is like being in all different kind of levels of our lives and different places, but still going in the same direction type. So I appreciate that a lot. That means a lot to me.
The food.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Yes.
Or the beer.
Yes.
Yeah,
or the liquid. Yes.
Mine's more beer and more beer and game driven. But yours is more food and game driven, I think. But I'm one of those people who's like, I just need enough sustenance so I can have my next beer. I'm good. And my wife hates that because she loves food. Like,
I was gonna say, I can destroy a lot of spaghetti. Like, don't even try me. Easy.
It's like, bring it on, spaghetti.
Yeah, it's like, you want to see something scary? Check this shit out. Let's go to spaghetti.
Watch Rysa eat spaghetti. Scary as hell.
Yeah. Instead of watching a horror movie, you just watch me eat some pasta. Watch out.
Oh, that's wrong. That's like watching The Exorcist when you're having a plate of peas or something. You can't do that.
Oh no,
you just can't do
that's
that.
My favorite pastime.
I was doing that before we clicked record.
Yeah. I was like, oh wait, hold on, guys.
Hold on.
Let me finish my peas.
Wipe my face real quick. Well, that was awesome, Michelle. Thank you for that, because that gives me I feel, and it would probably give a lot of people listening out there kind of that rejuvenation of, hey, it's okay to learn and grow.
And it's okay to mess up and learn from your mess ups. Please do that.
Please do that. We need more of that.
Well, I think that's why I became to be the producer that I am now, is because when I first started in the industry, I worked under some real jerks, I'll say. And because I think my parents are watching. Hi, Mom and Dad. So I think that sometimes you learn from the people that malign you and are horrible at their job just as much as you learn from the people that are really good at their job.
100%.
Because you learn how you don't want to be. You learn, I do not want to be this type of producer. And so I would say that the people that I worked and trained under over the years, the ones that were horrible, I still have to thank them deep down. I have to thank them because, they made me better at my job now. And that is important in growth,
Man, isn't that like the lyrics of every country song out there?
Well, it usually has something to do with tractors and dogs.
But it was about hardships and working hard and screwing up and baby take me back. I'm going to go drive my
truck.
Sounds
like my youth.
Right? I was like, that was my youth too. I was like,
and
that's not for me to hate on country music because I love all music.
No.
And I still listen to country music. So it's just a dig on a storytelling version of music out there. So thanks for that. That was a huge deal. So what does that mean though? I think.
What does that mean? I think that means.
Do I get points?
No, but you did beat round 2.
Oh, I did? Okay.
Yes.
Another milestone.
Yeah, look at you go.
If I get to round 2, does that mean I can have another beer?
Oh,
Yes, please.
I know.
Look what
You're not
was brought to me by
you're
my
not-
lovely wife.
You're not allowed to have another beer in your own house. What?
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of your house. Yeah.
I know I didn't fill my. That's awesome that she brought you another one because I usually set up like 2 beers in a little cooler over here and I forgot. I did, but the cool thing is my wife filled up this little guy for me before we started. So I was like, oh.
I'm gonna give your wife 20 points for bringing you a beer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not
are
for
you? Oh.
It's for her.
Oh, it's for her.
Yeah.
Fair.
I gave her 20 points.
20
All
points.
right. I just text her and I say beer me, and then it appears. It's wonderful.
Yeah, love those.
I love that.
Love it,
Seriously.
love it. Okay.
All right, we are on. You have beat round 2, so we're going smack dab into the boss battle.
Uh-oh.
You've got to fight the boss.
Yeah, danger will
Okay.
lose it.
Okay.
So, boss battle's coming at you. You are at that level of, Mario, you're in the castle. Bowser's staring you down.
After this,
ready.
you're gonna level up. It's like that. It's
We
that
have
kind
to
of thing.
believe this.
Yeah.
All right,
It's go
all right.
time.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm ready.
Go ahead, Rysa.
I need my eye patch.
Yeah.
Yes.
2
2 days.
Eye patch at the ready. 2-day eye patch.
2 weeks.
What is one special talent you've always wanted to do but were never able to quite get?
Special talent that I wanted to do, but I haven't been able to get.
Just like something that you haven't been able to like learn. Like you've always wanted to, but you just haven't gone.
Huh. That is a very good question. I can think of several things.
Give us one.
I was a musician for a time, and I played drums for a while in college, but I never was the greatest drummer, and that's something that I always really, really wanted to be. I wanted to be in a rock band. I mean,
Hey, I
That's
know
what I
someone who
wanted
else
to do for a
wants
long
to be
time.
rock band.
Let's just start a
starting
band.
a rock band.
Let's
Yeah.
just start a band.
We had a
Seriously.
drum set. We had a drum set in the house for a while, but we did get rid of it. But I love music. I love everything about it, and I worked in musical theater for a long time. But I always wanted to be a better musician. That was it. Just to be a better musician. Guitar. I wanted to be able to be one of those people that could pick up any instrument and just play it. And no, was not in the cards for me. Don't have the ear or something.
Just something didn't work out with it.
Oh, I feel
Yeah.
you so much.
That's literally. I feel like that's literally just Scooter.
I mean,
I want to be a rock star.
I always wanted to be a rock star.
Yeah.
I mean, I think since I was 12, and then that's when I think my dad bought me my first guitar when I turned like 13, and I still own that guitar, and I own like 3 other guitars. I've gone through a dozen guitars, bought, sold, and it's just kind of like, oh, I traded it in for floor covering equipment once because I was like, oh, I need to, put food on the table for my kids. I should probably sell my guitars. Those types. And I never was a virtuoso. I just love the sound of music. I love, not the movie. That's a whole nother discussion.
This here today, Scooter loves the film, The Sound of Music.
Flip that.
I mean, who doesn't?
I don't. I like the concept of it,
no,
but
that's not even okay.
I like the
And this is
concept
the new
of it,
topic.
but the movie. I think it was. I think it's childhood trauma because of the movie. There's something plays
I'm scared of Blades of Grass.
something because I'm afraid the hills are going to actually come alive. I don't know. So. No, I really did. I want to be a rock star, and I still do. I still really, and I think that's kind of my motivation to do things is not because I want to be famous as a rock star, but I want to move people somehow through stuff the stuff that I do, and I think that's the rock star part of me that still keeps going.
Let me tell you something. You already move people through what you do. It doesn't take being a musician to do that.
I'm finding that out. I'm finding that
But
out.
it'd be super cool if you did.
But it would be really cool.
One day.
Yeah.
So I'm always like,
What are you gonna play? What do you want to play though?
Oh,
Well,
I'm a bass
anything?
player and a vocalist. That's what I love to play.
All
But
right.
I've also
Can you
played
sing
drums
through-
and guitar and. But
Okay.
no, but seriously, Michelle, let's get this. Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
We could put
All right.
Rysa on the pipes.
Okay.
She could be the vocalist.
Sure.
You want to sing?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Sure.
We're putting the band back together. Blues Brothers.
All right. I
Blues.
have a cajon. That's all I have anymore
Let's
is a cajon.
do it.
That's fine.
I'm down.
Let's do it. All right, boss battle is still coming.
Coming in.
It's still here. The boss is still there.
I am armored and ready.
Here's a good one. This one, actually, I really appreciate this question. And realistically, and I've started to say this in our recordings, most of these questions now are not as random as they used to be. They are handpicked by Rysa herself. And I get these
So
questions.
that mayonnaise question, gotcha.
Yeah. So these, and I don't read these until.
There will be payback the next time
Yeah.
I see you in person.
You normally don't read them until about 2 hours prior. When
Even sometimes I just print them and it sits here until I sit down. But this one I did read it, and I was excited about this one because Michelle,
Uh-oh.
because this is for you. You're fighting the boss.
Scooter.
If you had to get a tattoo right now, you had to. You had to get one. What would it be of, and why?
That is the easiest question you've asked me all night.
I figured it would be. I mean, because really, anybody that has any ink knows what their next tattoo is, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why I was excited about this question.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I have wanted but haven't gotten I want a D20 tattooed on me. Of course, it's the thing that I don't have that I want, and it just hasn't happened yet because I am in the middle of a back piece that is not done.
Beautiful.
But yes, when quarantine is over, that may be something I need to go do, is get my D20. But I've been thinking about that for at least a year.
That's awesome, because I knew that was going to be
myself off for a while. I'm running out of room, as you can see.
right.
So,
So yeah, and if you're only listening to this audio, hey, Michelle has some amazing ink work done.
Yes.
So maybe you have to get to know her first, and just come and say hi to her sometime when she's playing a game somewhere. But yeah, I was really excited about that. So a D20, I've always thought about a D20 and just never knew where to kind of put it. So where
directly
Yeah.
on your right
Right
here.
here.
Like next to I was gonna say
Here.
right middle forehead or like right
Right.
next to one of your
Yeah.
eyebrows.
ouch.
So when you raise your
Or-
eyebrow, you raise your 20.
wait, Scooter, do you have any tattoos? You don't,
I have
do you?
3.
can't
I have
remember.
3.
You do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you will know, like palm of your hand, D20. Can you imagine rolling the dice and having that D20 right there? How that would be good luck. It
Sick.
would also be painful.
Yeah. I was gonna say it looks sick.
It would be
Not
terribly
feel as
painful.
good.
That would be. I mean, there's certain areas because I have one here across my little one on my chest, and as it got closer to my armpit, you're kind of like, okay, that's sensitive. I'm sweating a lot right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. But then the one on my calf, just go for it. I mean,
Yeah,
that was
probably
nothing.
whatever.
So,
Yeah.
no, I appreciate that. D20. I've never even thought about where to
Yeah.
put it, but I have thought about a D20. Rysa, what about you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna deflect and go over there.
Yeah. Do
What
you have
about you?
tattoos, Rysa?
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say that I don't have any tattoos.
That's not
but
unfortunate.
I always had to pay other bills, so I didn't have that excessive fund.
Fair.
That's hard.
But I have many tattoos that I would like.
Mm-hmm. A
So I have-
catalog of the tattoos.
I have a huge catalog, and luckily my sibling is a very good artist, and I'm gonna
Ooh,
have
cool.
him do most of my art.
Well,
That's
let's
awesome.
let's start a Rysa tattoo fund.
Hello, no.
I'm okay with that because I am. That's just I'm okay.
We
with
should
it.
all just get D20s together. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I think we
can all
should.
get we could all
Let's
go
do it.
get a different color.
I'm down.
First thing out of quarantine. That's what we're doing.
I'll do
I'm
one.
down.
I'll do one.
We gotta
I-
get 3 more people, and we can try to get the whole rainbow.
Yeah, we could.
Cute.
There you go.
Cute. I'm super down. Alright, packed. There we go.
All right, we have
Yep.
the boss is still coming. What is
Oh,
the next one?
Hey, bring him.
Well,
Bring
huh?
him.
Alright. Does a person's name influence the person they become?
Ooh, deep. That's deep.
Right.
Does a person's name influence the person they become?
Wow.
Like Chad?
Karen?
Well,
Stacy? Not
Stacy's mom.
Yeah, she's got it going on, guys.
I think if you let it, perhaps. I mean, I was blessed with one of the coolest last names on the planet with Powers. So, yeah, if you let it.
I like that answer of if you let it. Because it's a very strong answer. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's been I don't know if it's a mantra, but something that I've been talking about when it comes to even employment, right? Is like, don't let your job define you, define your job. And I feel like that's the same thing. It's like, don't let your name define you, define your name. It's like, I mean, there are certain names that are passed down if you have a lineage, like you might get your grandfather's name or something like that, which has some meaning, but you still have to define that name. That name could be really crappy. Your grandfather could have been a real piece of work, but you got the name. What are you going to do with it?
And at the end of the day, it's like, if you let it, but it's also your responsibility to make that name for yourself or not. It's on you.
But you got blessed with, I mean, Powers, yes. But what's your other last name?
That is my wife's last name.
Right. You were blessed with two awesome, let's be real.
Yeah.
Everhart.
Yeah, it's because we couldn't decide. It's because she wanted Powers, and I really liked Everhart, and then out comes the longest name in history. So,
I love it.
I mean, seriously, Everhart.
A couple Irish names for you.
I love it so much.
But Everhart sounds like a superhero in its own. Yeah. And then Powers was like, hello.
Like,
I'm Powers.
So, yeah.
Oh, so your two last names are phenomenal.
And then my one last name is shit.
It is not.
No, it's not.
It has super lineage. It has lineage.
I love.
Yes, your whole name is awesome.
I love the confusion of when people try to read my last name. I'm just
Kozinski.
like, do it, see what's gonna happen. It's great. You can't even find the last name anywhere.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome in itself, in its own right.
Yeah.
Probably a bunch of pirates.
Yeah.
A bunch of pirates, just eye patches.
Since you brought that up, now that begs the question, how did you get to be Scooter? Because I've never asked you that.
Dang, I didn't know this was going to turn around. Well, let's talk about that. And you did, you're beating the boss by me answering.
Right now.
Yeah, if I answer this question, you beat the boss.
You beat the boss, yeah.
It's not a secret either. That's the cool part. It's really just a nickname. And I'll be level 47 this year, and I've had this nickname for almost 46 years. I've had this nickname, so it's not it's been around forever. Sort of. I didn't walk as a baby. I scooted around on my butt. Kind of like a dog with like a swollen butt gland. I don't know. I guess I did that.
Why didn't they go with the nickname swollen butt gland?
I was like, well, it was too long for my sister to say, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. So my mom, that's what she called me, my little Scooter, and ever since then.
That's so cute.
That's super cute.
Yeah, scoot around on my butt. There's nothing besides that.
I think it should have been butt gland.
Yeah, it could have been butt glands.
That is so cute. I love it.
Swollen butt glands.
Let's be glad that it wasn't that.
I don't know. I'm kind of sad now. I would love to be like, hey, swollen butt glands, where you at?
It's only like $375. No, it's about $400 to change your name in California. So maybe, that could be hyphen swollen butt gland.
Let's wait till we, or that could be the band name. Maybe we should wait until we formed our band.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know if that's gonna get a bigger audience or not.
Well, the Cramps.
Probably the wrong.
There's tons of those.
True.
True. So you beat the boss.
Yeah,
you beat the boss.
Happened.
Do you win anything
you guys
besides
made my day?
Drink of your beer? Yes.
You drink a beer. I'm gonna give you 7 points.
Ooh, 7.
Yeah.
Is that a lucky number? I picked 13 for my charisma, so I thought that would be my lucky number.
Oh, I like the number
13 is a very lucky number. 7 is a number
that you'll add to something else.
Yeah.
To make a different number.
The secret thing. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So because you built your character, you went through round 1 and 2. You beat the boss battle. So what do you win besides gaining points for what you may never know why and a sip of your beer? You get to humble brag and talk about whatever you would like right now. So
I do?
Yeah, this is now that you beat the boss, you get to shamelessly plug. Shamelessly. I must be tired. Yes. Yeah. About whatever you want. I mean, if it's something else that you're interested in, if it's a game you're playing, if it's about anything.
Whatever you want.
This is your show for the last few minutes. You get to kind of just plug whatever you want.
Okay, let me think about it and
get back to you after I get my iPad.
I'd like to talk to you about. Let me try not to have a laconic reply. Okay, so what would I like to talk about? Well, it's very hard to plug myself because I am not I only got a 13 on charisma. I'm not an outward entertainer by any means. I can't advertise what I do because half of the things that I shoot are non-disclosure agreement and I can't talk about any.
Right.
I will say that, I mean, I am on the only reason I use the internets and the social medias of the world is to stay connected to the D&D community, which I love. And I forgot what I am on the socials. I don't even know what I am on the socials. That's how much I pay attention.
Grey Ghost DM. Girly DM.
That's it. Grey Ghost Girl DM. That's it on Twitter and Instagram. And I really only use that to stay connected with my D&D buddies. Let's see. What would I like to talk about? Let's talk about D&D.
Let's talk about the hat you're wearing. Talk about that, and talk about the D&D games that you play.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'll plug some friends that I'm playing with. How about that?
There you go.
So because of quarantine, I haven't been playing as much as normal. One of our local DMs, Rodney and Sean. I believe you have had Sean on Off the Dice before.
Yes, season 1, Sean was on here.
Yes.
We got him mighty Drake.
I have too. That's how I win at D&D. I love him. And Rodney, I really will have to give props to you two, especially, and Rodney and Sean for getting me back into D&D in the community here in Sacramento, which has been like totally amazing. And then I've been lucky enough to go to some events. Where did we go? You and I went to Lost Odyssey.
Yes, we did.
Together, which was freaking amazing.
Yes.
And you met some people that I had met the year prior at D&D Live. And those guys, the guys who run the Gallant Goblin, which is like a YouTube channel for reviewing miniatures and stuff like that. I am in a game, a 5e game with him for Humblewood, which was a Kickstarter by the Deck of Many. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I know of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in a game with them, and then I'm also doing some play testing a little bit for an adventure that Satine Phoenix wrote and Heath Harper, her boyfriend, and that is hella fun. I literally just had that game right before we had this call, and it is so much fun. And the guys from the Gallant Goblin are also in that. And what else can I say? I think because quarantine's being lifted, like our games are going to start to happen in person again, and I'm really freaking excited about that.
Right? Yeah, I was like,
because there's only so much time you can be locked up.
Yeah.
That's so true. And the Gallant Goblin, aren't they they're out of Bakersfield? Is that where they're at? Is that where are they at? Okay,
yes.
They're
they
down
are currently in Bakersfield.
Yeah, and they're Bakersfield, and then I know Satine and Heath Harper, they're down in LA at this point. And they've been kind of sheltered in place there for a while, and some amazing creative things have come out of that household since they've been, I mean, from a film that he did. He did
Dresden film.
Yep. And then a game that she's working on. I mean, like tons. I mean, like, so the creativity that's coming out of us being sheltered in one place and can't go where, there's a lot of creative things that are coming out.
A lot happening.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
It's amazing how people have like been able to adapt to shelter in place to still get games, out there and on Twitch and messages heard. And there's been so many things that everyone's adapted to, and it's so fun to watch. And like, I kind of don't want to go back to work because I'd rather just here and either talk to you guys, which I do frequently, or watch a Twitch stream of people playing D&D. I mean, like, I really don't want to go back to work. So I'd rather just keep doing this.
And I think that's what our whole motivation right now is. We need to keep doing this. This hasn't stopped us talking. I think Rysa and I probably communicate more often besides off the dice because of this.
Yeah.
I mean, we touch base a little bit more. I know you and I, Michelle, we touch base a little bit more. I know that I touch base with my siblings that are in many different states in the country, and I talk to them every couple of weeks now. My adult daughters, I can get a random FaceTime call while the baby's taking a bath, and I'm like, okay, I gotta answer.
Those are the kinds of things that you can't.
But
like, you can't buy.
But without this, I don't think we would have looked to that, because we're like, we can always visit at some other time. I think this is kind of opened our eyes. It's like, no, now's the time.
Time is now. Yeah,
now's the time.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that a lot, and I think that's where us as a powerhouse here, us three, of course, we need to keep that going once everything is 100% up and running and open. Yeah. This doesn't need to end. This should be a supplement to what we do. Yeah, seriously, to live.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, no, I agree with that. So I think that's so great to see you staying connected and be more connected with so many creative minds that are out there, because that's what we're here for. I mean, that's why our community thrives. That's the only way 100%. We thrive. So, oh my God.
I love this community we have. Like Sacramento, LA, everyone that I have met and I have interacted with over the past couple of years as I've gotten back into D&D after a very long hiatus. I just cherish the time I get to spend with these people. I do. You guys included.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We made it. Look at us.
We appreciate you so much.
Yes.
I as a human being, I get frustrated a lot. I think we all do, because we're like, it's not going the way I want it to, and I can't be in control of that. But when, even before I do a podcast like this or a live stream, before I kind of go, maybe we should just postpone it. Maybe we'll do it another time.
It's those like nerves. I get that.
Yeah, and then we go live, and I go, okay, this is why we do this. Is because it's not just. Exactly. I mean, realistically, this is not just for you guys. This is very selfish for me, because this helps. This is therapeutic for me. So
it definitely it is.
Yeah,
100%.
I know.
So we cannot thank you.
It just makes me miss you more.
Yeah, that's true. And it really, really does. It's like, oh my gosh, we can't wait to hug each other and actually go out and clank cups together.
Never realized how much I love hugging until I was there.
I know. I'm a theater person by nature, and I like hug everybody.
Hug everything,
even if I just barely met them, and I'm not going to be able to do that for a long time. So that's.
I'm just imagining Rysa like, okay, I'm sorry that I'm an hour and a half late, but I hugged everybody on the way here.
Yes, that was something I
and all is forgiven.
I was like, I saw somebody, I pulled over my car, hug, and kept going.
Let me hug you. Yeah.
We will get there, and that's what we're all about. I mean, I think that's what you guys have helped create here in Sacramento. So, and someday around the world, all that stuff.
Someday.
No, but seriously, thank you so much, Michelle, for being part of this and joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, we appreciate it.
I'm thrilled I beat the big boss.
Yes.
You did it.
He was a
plot twist. It was us. The whole time.
Okay.
Plot twist. You just got Shyamalan.
What was that?
You got Shyamalan.
I'm like, because my dice weren't rolling that well earlier, and I was like, oh no, is this indicative of how it's going to go tonight?
What happened?
Oh, God.
My character of myself prevailed. Goodness.
Yes.
Solid.
You have a great character. Amazing. So with that, we are going to sign off from Off the Dice. You can catch us all the time. We're everywhere on all the things. If you want to...
Everywhere and all the things.
If you want to see some of Michelle's work, you probably have already seen it. You just don't know it.
You just don't know.
So that last commercial that moved you, probably her. So, and all the ones coming out in the next 6 to 12 months, the good ones were her.
The good ones.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
All right.
You guys are overconfident in my abilities, but thank you.
All right. Well, everybody have a good one. Thanks for joining. And next time, make sure, I think we're going to do this again sometime. Next time, we'll pull up a chair and talk more off the dice.
Off the dice, yeah.
That's what we do.
Bye.
Bye.
Drink Something, Say Something is the podcast for those of you who are tired of other beer podcasts. Tired of the jargon, tired of all the rigmarole. We're going to bring on brewers, bartenders, and everything in between to talk about anything and everything from beer to the rest of the universe. Come crack one open with us every other Thursday.